Yo, what's good with y'all? Welcome to another episode of TEQCopsKicks. My name is Technic G. Today we have another fresh sneaker unboxing / review video for y'all. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Today we're taking a look at the Nike GT Future in the Swooshman colorway. This is an interesting release because it was available on the sneakers app back in March for pre-order only. For $210 retail, you had to wait 3 months in order to get this pair. It was expected to arrive in July. I actually got mine in the middle of June. So here we are, and it's a beautiful shoe. This sneaker pays homage to Swooshman. Swooshman was a promotional character that Nike had back in the 90s. He was like a superhero for sneakers. He had a big old metallic silver costume with Nike swooshes all on his head. It was pretty crazy. It was quite interesting if you ask me. But yeah, that's what this shoe's all about. That's who this shoe is for. Do y'all remember Swooshman? I want to know. Let me know. This colorway is based on one of the stranger pieces of Nike history. Back in 1996, Nike introduced a superhero-style mascot called Swooshman as part of a project known as Nike Sports Entertainment. He wore a futuristic silver and blue suit covered in Nike branding, including a huge red swoosh across the chest and another one on the helmet. Swooshman appeared at basketball showcases and promotional events where he would perform acrobatic dunks using a trampoline. The suit reportedly cost around $125,000 to produce and was designed by Jose Fernandez, who also worked on the bat suit from Batman Forever. Nike put a lot into the idea, but Swooshman never really caught on. The character was quietly shelved around 1997, and most people probably forgot he ever existed. Now, Nike has brought him back on the GT Future, and honestly, this is probably the perfect shoe for it. The GT Future already has that smooth, sculpted, almost armored look, so the connection to Swooshman makes sense. The upper starts out mostly white around the collar and gradually fades through silver and gray before transitioning into icy blue near the bottom. That color layout mirrors the original Swooshman suit, and the dotted pattern around the lower area helps make the gradient look more detailed. The upper also has a reflective coating. Under normal lighting, the shoe can look mostly white and gray, but once brighter light hits it, more of that metallic silver finish comes through. Then you have the bright university red swooshes. The placement is different on each side, with one closer to the front and the other sitting towards the heel. That asymmetrical setup gives the shoe a little more character and connects directly to the oversized red swooshes on the original costume. The molded ridges running through the upper almost look like sections of armor, which fits the whole superhero theme. You also have gray piping around the opening, a darker purple interior, and a mostly hidden lacing system that keeps the upper looking smooth. At the top of the tongue, there's a custom Swooshman helmet graphic. The same character appears on the sock liners and underneath the translucent outsole. The outsole shifts between icy blue and purple, and the Swooshman graphic underneath is one of the better details on the shoe because it's not immediately obvious. Nike could have just used the same colors and called it a day, but the extra details make the theme feel complete. I've already reviewed other GT Future colorways, so I'm not going to go too deep into the model again. The main feature is still that one-piece molded upper, which clearly carries some Foamposite DNA. The GT Future has a slimmer and more modern shape, but you can still see the connection to Nike basketball design from the late 90s. The cushioning setup includes Cushlon 3.0, a full-length Zoom Air Strobel, and another Zoom Air unit in the forefoot. So even though a lot of people are going to wear these casually, this is still built as a performance basketball shoe. Personally, I think the design is what pulls most people in. It looks more like a futuristic lifestyle sneaker than a traditional hoop shoe, and that's probably why it stands out so much. This is definitely more of a statement sneaker than an everyday basic. The white and silver upper looks clean, but it's also going to show dirt and scuffs more easily than a darker colorway. The molded material should be easier to wipe down than something like suede or canvas, but still, this isn't a pair I'd wear somewhere I know it's going to get filthy. The icy outsole also looks good, but clear and translucent rubber can eventually change color with age and wear. For sizing, I normally wear a 12, but in the GT Future, I go up to a size 13. That size has been working for me, so I stayed with it on this pair. The GT Future has a narrow and secure fit, so I'd recommend trying them on if possible, or at least paying attention to how this model fits before ordering. Another interesting part of this release was the way Nike sold it. Instead of a normal release where everybody fights over pairs on sneakers, Nike allowed customers to reserve them ahead of time. I reserved mine on March 20th, paid $227.22 after tax, and received them on June 15th. The downside is that you pay for the shoe and then wait a few months. But personally, I'd rather know my pair is secured and wait than take an L on release day and end up paying resale. For certain releases, I think this is the kind of pre-order system that makes a lot of sense. This isn't my favorite GT Future colorway, but I still think it's really clean and looks amazing in hand. The white, silver, icy blue, purple, and red all work together. And the reflective finish gives the shoe more personality than what you see in regular product pictures. The Swooshman story also makes the design more interesting. Once you understand where the colors, the Red Swooshes, and the helmet graphics came from, the whole shoe makes more sense. I'm definitely going to wear these sometimes, but I don't wear white sneakers very often, so this probably won't be one of my everyday pairs. For me, this is more of a special collection piece that I'll pull out when I want something different. It's not going to be for everybody, but if you like the GT Future, foamposite style designs, or weird pieces of Nike history, this is one of the more interesting versions of the model. It's not my favorite colorway, but the execution is clean, the theme works, and I'm glad I reserved a pair. I didn't think I'd be getting this pair till July, because that's what they said, when I bought it. But yeah, this is really dope in hand. It's really crazy. I thought it was going to be more white. I thought it was going to be like more gray. In hand, it's a lot more like grayish blue, purple, white, kind of, I don't know. The pictures definitely don't do it justice. The pictures that Nike put out on their website on sneakers and, all the little promotional photos. Because once you get this in hand, it is a lot different than what the pictures showed. Or maybe I just wasn't paying attention, but I think this is way more beautiful than what I expected it to look like. The purple, the blue, the gray, the white, the red swooshes. I think this thing is pretty ill if you ask me. But yeah, I like the little pre-order system. I don't think it's everybody's favorite thing. Most people want instant gratification. But, there's certain shoes that, why not? Like, for example, if they announced that they were going to do some kind of Virgil Abloh archive, Jordan 1 high retro of the Chicago, like the off-white, I'd pre-order that. I don't care if I had to wait 6 months. I'd go ahead and pre-order that right now. But yeah, I think this is a pretty good shoe. It doesn't really get the love it deserves. I think Nike kind of messed up on the advertising campaign. They kind of went hard last year, and then when they actually started dropping them, they kind of fell back, and now everybody's kind of confused, and they just keep dropping at random on Foot Locker, and prices keep going down and they keep going on sale. I don't know. I think Nike's really dropping the ball on this one. I don't really like to just talk down on companies because I don't own Nike, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what they're doing. I don't got any idea really. But yeah, I think they should do a way better job promoting this shoe. And if people really knew more about this shoe, I think that they would buy it. But anyway, that's all I got to say about this shoe. I'm glad I have it in my collection. It's really dope. Swooshman was a cool little character. I wonder what they did with that $125,000 suit they made. They probably got it laying around somewhere. But anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching episode 42 of TEQCopsKicks. My name is Technic G. Make sure you thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment, let me know what you think about today's sneaker. You can also follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and X, otherwise known as Twitter. Make sure you check out my official website at TEQCopsKicks.com. Keep copping them kicks, y'all. Stay true to yourself. Wear what you like to wear and do what you like to do. Much love. Peace.